And health news. It's National Sleep Awareness Week, and if you're not getting enough shut-eye, you're not alone. A new study from the National Sleep Foundation says only 40% of Americans are getting the sleep they need. For the first time, the survey looked at racial differences in sleep habits, too. Researchers found sleep deprivation was a problem across all ethnic groups, but African Americans especially reported the least amount of sleep. So, what can you do to help yourself get a better night's sleep?
We need to find out. 12 News Today's Nicole McGregor is live at the Valley Sleep Center with some tips from the experts. So, Nicole, Kim and I were talking a few minutes ago. How do I bring this up? We need to talk about if your spouse snores.
Yeah. That's never helpful, is it?
No.
Yeah. If you're awake at this time, then you probably know what we're talking about. You're maybe not getting enough sleep, right? We're glad you're awake because you're joining us on the morning show this morning. But there's something we got to talk about. We're joined now by Lori Ledley. She's with the Valley Sleep Center. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Nicole.
So what kind of sleep do we need to be getting? How much per night?
Adults need 7 to 9 hours. Teenagers, adolescents need 10 to 12 hours. And toddlers need about 12 to 14 hours.
And that is really hard for us to get. So can you catch up if you don't get the amount of sleep that you need on a nightly basis?
Absolutely. You can catch up by taking naps on the weekends, during the day. Anything you can do to resolve your sleep debt is helpful.
So just the more sleep, the better, no matter how you can get it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so rituals, those are good. We usually do those with our children. We are not so good about doing them as adults. One thing people like to do is watch television, but you say don't do that inside your bedroom.
No, absolutely. Avoid TVs, cell phones, and computers in the bedroom. You want your room to be a dark, cool, comfortable place. Watch TV outside the bedroom.
So keep that just for sleeping. Okay, what about sleep aids? A lot of us use those. Are they good to use?
We generally don't like you to use too many sleep aids, especially melatonin, Benadryl, prescriptions. We like you to use a limited amount of those, and we have sleep physicians here that can recommend them if you need them, but basically try not to use them if you can help it.
And caffeine as a pick-me-up if you didn't get enough sleep?
Caffeine in the mornings is great, but after 2 o'clock, we generally don't like you to have too much caffeine after 2 because it does affect your ability to fall asleep at night.
Okay, Scott and Kim were just asking about snoring, especially if you have a spouse that snores. That's never a good thing. But that oftentimes is due to sleep apnea, right?
Right. Sleep apnea is something that affects millions of Americans. It is an obstruction in the airway that causes you to stop breathing, interrupts the brain, causes your oxygen level to drop, puts an extra strain on the heart. And we treat that with CPAP. And this is CPAP. This is a mask that goes in your nose, and it gives pressure and keeps your airway open while you're sleeping so that you can reach all the levels of sleep that you need.
Is that usually the main reason for snoring?
Yes, airway obstruction. Not all people that snore have sleep apnea, but most of them do, and it does interrupt the brain.
And not a good thing, right?
Right. Children or parents, if your children snore, you should definitely check with your pediatrician because that's not normal. Okay. They could have sleep apnea.
Let's talk about long-term effects. One of them being migraines. People who don't sleep a lot get migraines. Why is that?
Right. We see more apnea because your brain is that's your main restorative tool for your body. And so it's kind of like your brain's saying, hey, I'm not getting enough sleep. But also heart disease, high blood pressure, stroke, and even diabetes are also linked.
But you say you'd like to oftentimes go into like a pain treatment center and say, hey, are you getting enough sleep? Because oftentimes they're not.
Yes, absolutely. I think a lot of people that go to pain centers for headaches they need a sleep study, definitely, because they could have sleep apnea or another sleep disorder.
So interesting. We love to talk about sleep because so many of us don't get enough of it. Thank you very much, Lori Ledley, for your time. If you want to know more about her center, you can always hop on our website at 12news.azcentral.com, click on links, and we'll take you to theirs. They have 4 different locations around the valley. We're live in Phoenix for now at 12 News. Back to you guys.